Good evening. I'm Pulveret and I love PLO. Welcome to session 15 of this challenge. Yesterday I had a pretty good session where, apart from other things that happened, I accidentally set it to PLO5 tables. I won a little bit there. It's because the lobby, it doesn't remember that I filter for stakes. So I open the site and then it's not filter, sorry, sorting. Then it's sorted by, I don't know what it's normally sorted for. Let me see. I think it's either players. Yeah, I think it's sorted by players. And then I normally click blinds to sort it by blinds, but I forgot, and so I sat on the wrong tables. But it was okay. It was a breath of fresh air to get some PLO5 in there. Now I can't wait to migrate from PLO2 to PLO5. But one thing at a time. First of all, we need to get back in black. For right now, as you're seeing the current standings of the challenge at the bottom in the banner, at 7.1 thousand hands, we're at $95, starting from 100. This is a decent flop. Not straight, two pair and a flush draw and a backdoor flush draw. Now the flush hit, and it's actually not that great because our flush isn't that great. So I will try a small one. I really don't think that this guy has a very good flush. He has one at all. So here should be a pretty good flush or a bluff. And I'm gonna lean bluff. So we're gonna call this. It was the nut flush. I did not suspect that because he's betting a lot of flops. If you're betting a lot of flops, one of the first hands you go to when you bet flops is the nut flush draw, is it not? Anyway, he fooled us. No, he fooled us and got a decent value raise out of us on the river. Kudos to suited Bronson. Of course, I don't have that many hands on him, but all the flop betting, yeah, is just high. C betting is high. Betting when checked to was 3 out of 4, now 3 out of 5. So yeah, of course it can be misleading when we don't have that many hands, but gotta go on what we have. And part of the reason I bet so small was that I wanted him to make the bluff if he had not had it. If he had not had it. And maybe he would have, who knows? We have trip tens here. And we're up against aces, doing very well. First one is us. Second one is us. And the last one is him. So now it's me who has not flush draw, and of course I'm betting it because I like betting flops. But this is not a straight board, so it's a little bit different. But even so. Mhm. Here we have open-ender. We are on table 3, that is. We have not flush draw, top pair, and open-ender. Let's see. My random friend is a little bit ahead. Twice. If we can get one. First one is his, and second one is us. I got heads up action there for one hand. I didn't even have time to move the tables before it was over. I should have just gone all in here. I should have been all in the turn. I didn't see I had less than a pot bet left until I had already clicked. Mm-hmm. His ex-poker files. I was looking at his numbers now, that's why I went a little bit quiet. It's quite interesting, the numbers. These last three here, they are went to showdown, one at showdown, and one went soft flop. And let me just get back to that in a second, because now I picked up a couple of seats here. So let me see if I can figure this out. Into another table. Okay, that table is to go over here. There we have a seat, and there we have a seat. Okay, so, and we try again. Now there's a lot of things happening at the same time, on and off screen. Okay, let's get those aces in so we don't have to think about that anymore. +1 is fine. So I have a table off screen here that I'm just trying to get rid of. But I'm too cheap to just dump it. I have to wait for the next big blind. Alright, what was I saying? This ex-poker files. It's a little high here and low in the other ones. That I usually interpret as a guy who's calling a lot. He's coming to showdown often, but he's not winning them often. So he has two weak hands in showdown, right? And at the same time, he's low in one when soft flop. So he doesn't have weak hands in showdown because he's, well, bluffing a lot of his weak hands, or, not giving up. Well, he's not giving up, but he's not giving up in a calling way, in a passive way. Because if he was not giving up in an aggressive way, then he would have a higher number here in one when soft flop. We got check raised here where we have nut flush draw and an open ender. We're just going to get as much money in as we can because we have such a good hand. And now it's even better. Yes. So he's he's going he's getting to the showdown. He's getting to showdown a lot. And he's not doing it in an aggressive way. Which means he's calling a lot. Too much. However, in contradiction to that, he's folding 94% of river bets to 94% of river bets. So he must be calling a lot on flops and turns, which these numbers align with. So what do we do against this player? We bet for value on flop on turn a lot. And then on rivers, we don't bet for value unless we have a very good hand. We don't bet thin for value. But if we somehow end up on a river, too bad he didn't bet that river. All right. If we do end up in a river and we don't have a good hand, we can definitely try bluff on the river. I love these fun tendencies you can find in the hood. The most immediate value you get from the hood is just seeing who is playing way too many hands pre-flop and finding the ones who's just spazzing out. Although, I guess you can quite easily do that without the hood. Especially if you're not playing too many tables. But it's easier with the hood. But like, look at this random guy. He has placed 92, VPIP 92, PFR 69, and 3-bet 39. Like that is what we call a fun player. Now we have top and bottom with a flush draw. Let's just make a call here. Now we have double flush draws and 3 pairs. We're going to check raise here if he bets again. Just because we have such a good hand. He didn't, and we end up with a full house. Let's bet the pot. It's almost impossible that he has a better full house. He would need to have nines or queens, and why would he ever check that on the turn? That would just be too weird. Just to fool me, I guess. That's happened before. So maybe it's a little bit too much to say it's impossible, but so I just quickly in passing looked at these numbers that are aggression factor. So aggression factor is pretty much aggressive actions divided by passive actions. So a high number would mean that either you're very aggressive or you're not, well, either you're making a lot of aggressive actions or you're not making very many passive. I think it's overcalls specifically, actually. Anyway, I'll make that call. Get half. Holding 2 pair here. So if we look at his river where he has 14, it means that he doesn't have many calls. And that's what we already know because he's folding 95% of the time. But that's specifically on the river, right? So different numbers if you look at the turn. There's 1.7 and they're 14. So that's why I said it aligns with what we were saying before, that he's falling a lot, too much on flop and turn, and then folding way too much on the river. It's actually a really fun combination. We instead look at this guy, path 34 here. Oh, that was a bad fold. One big blind in 38, or would be folding this river anyway, when he actually found a real size. Yeah, so this path guy, yeah, we don't have that many hands. But he's just more tight overall. He also has a very high fold to river bets. And he's also folding more on the river than the other suits. Though we have quite a bit fewer hands on him. So we'll see. Maybe things change there. Can change for this Poker Files guy too, but there at least we have 800 hands. In the bomb pot on table 5, we do have the nuts on top and pretty much nothing below. But there are two things to mention here that's interesting about bomb pot dynamics. First of all, someone else can have the same nuts. As opposed to having nut flush, the nut straight, we're just 1 out of 4 combinations. So we don't have the exclusive nuts, so to speak. And then it's also very vulnerable. Club or diamond, and it's gone. Plus we can't win the other one. So we're not going to be in there trying to hold up with our shared nuts for half the pot. We turned top 2, table 2. And I guess he got the revert straight. So now we're up against this ex-Poker Fives guy. Our plan is, of course, our plan was to bluff this river, but now we made a straight. I wonder if we should keep bluffing. If we should just check this straight down. Let's check it. And he had made a full house, so I guess that was a good one. Now I did exactly the opposite of what what I said before I would do. I was gonna bluff the rivers, but not bet the other street. But I felt I had a good opportunity. The way board fell and played out, that I could make 2 small bets and then bluff big on the river. However, the river giving us too much value to bluff, but maybe it's not too much value, since I mean a straight isn't that strong on the flush, the paired board with the flush on it. Anyway, he had a bad full house. Maybe we could have gotten him to fold that. Yeah, maybe the best thing is just to follow through there. We'll get another chance to play against him. The him in the picture. Which once again brings me back to these boring avatars. We're gonna get it in against this guy here. He's 3-betting. Okay. That was not great. I just saw the red numbers. I missed that we only had 10 hands. Anyway, we're probably not that bad off. Oh, we're ahead actually. Minimally ahead. But this other guy here with the numbers, he put in some extra money, so it's pretty good. Pretty good. Trip fives, table 2. Completely meaningless flush draw. Well, that's meaning that I'm blocking their flush draws, which is not good in this case. Because we have ace 5. They have us beat. They have full house. And they can't get them a flush. So in that way, it's a meaningless flush draw. But of course, having 2 hearts on this board has significance. Yeah. I got suddenly really tired. And not straight. And here we have a bomb pot. That's a little bit different than the other one. We have a nut straight here too at the bottom. It is not as vulnerable as the other one. It can still be shared, though there is one blocker for it. And we're not completely useless on the other board. We have one pair, we have a gut shot, and we have a backdoor hearts draw. So let's make this call. Let's make a big bet here. Now I don't want to keep going, because now we don't have nuts at the bottom. It got worse on us on our best board got a lot worse, and the other board didn't get any better. Flop top 2 on table 5, getting it in against top and bottom with a flush draw. Close to a flip, it appears. And we win. Gonna check raise this here with our straight blockers against the X-Poker fights, and I'm expecting a call here then, and then I wanted to bet the river, but yeah, we're going to still, but now I have to make a small bet. Yeah, and he made the full house, of course. Yeah, that was too bad. We'll win that hand on many, many, many rivers, but there were 4 cards that were bad for us. Mm. I'm gonna call it a night here. Very, very short session today. Even shorter than my normal short sessions. Ah, I missed sitting out the big blind here on table 2. It's almost every day. But I'm not gonna miss it on table 4. So Get a nut straight on table 1. Now it's not for us anymore because the board paired. Erased. Oh, yeah, we got that on time. Let's put up the results there. Like I usually do at the end of the sessions, while waiting for the last few hands to pass by. Down here. So again, we have actual results in green and all-in EV adjusted in purple, and both of them before the rakeback from the leaderboard and from the flat. The splash pots we win, they go straight into the stack, so they are included in this graph. Yeah. Anyway, we can see that we are trending pretty well. After 7,300 hands. This flop looked like it hit us, but it didn't quite. We have one pair and backdoors, and of course gut shot. Overall, not that thrilling. Now we have an open ender, but no flush draw. Still just one pair. We're not winning this hand. So, that was the last hand for tonight. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon again. I'm Pulver, and I love PLO. Peace out.